Good day, everybody, from wherever you're watching and listening to this. Welcome. I'm very, very happy to introduce you to Alan Machado, who's the Chief Operating Officer at Niraamaya Wellness Retreats. I'm going to spend a few minutes asking some questions and getting to know him and his business.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for having me on the call. You've got my surnames, pronounced correctly, so I'm very glad about that. It is
well,
an easy surname to
I do
pronounce.
make an effort. Okay, so I mean, listen, this has been a really challenging year, of course, and it looks like the challenge is ongoing.
Right.
What does your typical day look like during these kind of lockdowns and restrictions, and how have you managed to keep yourself going?
So, for mostly people working at certain designations professionally, the typical day is just a copycat paste version of a very, very templated format, isn't it? The mornings mostly have you looking at reports from various regions, you're running through the P&Ls, the guest reviews, the hospitality and the global market news, seeing how the stock indexes are doing, monitoring the status of the pandemic, various government notifications, so you can plan and strategize the way forward with your executive team. That's typically how a professional's day looks like. But a typical day for me has changed dramatically in the new normal, Adam. I truly wake up each morning with an immense sense of gratitude, and prayer. Primarily gratitude for being alive, gratitude for being healthy, gratitude for still having a job in these unprecedented tough times. Gratitude for seeing and having all your family, your friends, your colleagues safe and sound. I just have stopped taking for granted, all those simple and nondescript things in life that you were able to do before. I have this ritual, I wake up every morning and I kiss a photograph of my 2-year-old son. And I wake up and, I watch a video, just a short video of him, going out about being naughty, without a care in the world. I think that immediately brings a huge smile to my face, kickstarts my day perfectly. It's stressful times. So yeah, you gotta take care of yourself, and you gotta be in a good frame of mind. So that's how my typical day starts.
That sounds really, really positive in these conditions, and it's obvious that those simple things, like having your son there and watching him do his normal things as a 2-year-old without a care in the world, obviously that has a huge positive influence. And
Absolutely. I think that's one of the things that keeps me going.
Yeah, brilliant. So, listen, everybody has a journey in hospitality, and a start point. What was yours? What made you get into hospitality in the first place?
Okay, this is a bit of an extremely unique and a bit of a funny story, actually, how I got into hospitality. Well, most people would say, I love, it's in my DNA to meet new people, and I got into hospitality because I'm a people person, blah blah blah. But I want to tell you that I got into hospitality because, and this will seem funny to you, I got into hospitality because of the legendary king of pop, Michael Jackson. Now let me tell you how, and let me tell you why. In the November of 1996, when he toured India and visited Mumbai for his concert of the History Tour, I, like one of those hundreds of his crazy fanatical followers, decided to trace every move of his in the city when he was in Mumbai. I got information that he was staying at one of the biggest and one of the fanciest 5 stars in the city, which is the Oberoi Mumbai. I love that hotel. That is still one of my favorites, all-time favorite hotels. Standing outside looking at the hotel, I thought how awesome it must be for the staff working in there to, to get a glimpse of this awesome personality. And not just him, but so many renowned people who come there for food, to stay, etc. And, I actually managed to sneak into the hotel at that time. Even with all the heavy security, I managed to sneak in. And, I was in complete awe of, how the interiors were and how beautiful and glamorous the hotel was. That's when I decided that I should pursue a career in hospitality. And, immediately the next year in 1997, I got into hospitality. I joined my hotel management course. And that started my journey to where I am today. And, incidentally, I worked for close to 4.5 to 5 years with the same property, and I got to see his memorabilia, and, I got to meet various heads of state, etc., etc. So, yeah, that was my first foray into hospitality.
That's a brilliant story. And obviously, a great way to get into that sort of limelight of celebrity. And,
like I said, funny, but yeah, that was how I got into it.
I mean, if obviously that's quite a unique way of getting into hospitality. If you had to tell young men and women today that are looking at hospitality as a career, okay, how to get on the ladder, where should you start? What would you say?
Well, Adam, the industry is going through a never before seen crisis, right? I mean, job losses, businesses on the verge of bankruptcy, so many hotels shutting down, probably never to reopen again. The situation is as grim as they come, right? Agreed on all of this. But we all need to understand that no situation is permanently bad for very long, right? It is the law of nature. It is bound to change. And the fact of the matter is there is a silver lining, and we must be strong. We must stay strong and resilient. Life will always challenge you, but you need to stand tall and have faith. And for the young people who intend to come into this field or are planning to pursue this as a career, if possible, use this time to learn a lot more about your trade, add to your skills, improve your knowledge, and I think get fitter emotionally, mentally, and physically, so that when the time comes for us to restart again, you can combat the situation head on. I'm doing the same, and I think so should everybody in this industry, irrelevant of how senior or junior you are. And I want to use this platform, Adam, to reach out and to say that I am always available to guide and help people, in this industry on how to go about things right now, and be helpful in that manner.
Excellent. I mean, I think that that role of mentor, it's one that we found with a lot of our guests on BLAAH BLAAH at STAAH, where you've had a journey, you've learnt your trade, and you're in a position now to pass that on to new entrants into hospitality.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Experience is extremely valuable no matter what field you're in, Adam, and I think that's very important to pass it on.
No, absolutely. I mean, looking at travel, and the possibilities of travel, both domestically and internationally. What are your views over the next sort of year of what's going to happen, how things are going to evolve in the sector?
I believe that the entire industry, whether it is domestic or international, Adam, will it will pivot towards the unexplored and the underappreciated world of wellness going forward. Not only would this hold true for the hospitality industry, but I think that it will hold true for all aspects of human existence. People traveling on business would also want their life or their travel to have some aspect of wellness. People going for leisure breaks with their family would want some aspect of wellness from their holiday. Even for the matter, people sitting at home, living at home and not traveling anywhere would, start introspecting whether they're doing things that take them closer to holistic well-being. I mean, this pandemic has brought about a change in everyone's mentality, hasn't it? And hence, I feel that wellness in this post-COVID era is going to be one of the most significant pivots for humanity and for travel, both internationally and domestically. A definitive trend is emerging that, people are taking smaller but more frequent holidays. And, they would discover the virtues of traveling, and spending time with their near and dear ones. This has become a very important aspect of travel nowadays. And, people are becoming more demanding on an entirely new set of parameters. The topmost being right on top is hygiene. And I also believe that the other thing that is going to be a fundamental concept of the sense of space and design for our industry will change. People would prefer a holiday in not the large, opulent hotels, but they would appreciate holidays with a sense of privacy and the luxury of space. And I think this is definitely going to change going forward. People will no longer want the large hotels. They would prefer a tent in a nondescript location away from people because, people do not want to see too many people around. That is the mindset of the customer now. They want private holidays. And I think that's how the travel industry, both internationally and domestically, is going to change.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, your point on people taking shorter but more holidays and breaks is spot on. I think certainly that's a trend that we see also in Europe. And it's, the world needs wellness, right? I mean, after the year we've had, everybody needs to be fixed, right? So it makes a huge amount of sense to
health is. I mean, the adage "health is wealth" is so cliched, but it holds true, right?
Absolutely. So we talked about wellness and we've talked about career and hospitality. How do you get your dose of work-life balance? How do you get that right in your own?
Currently, I must admit and confess it's not easy. With everything that is happening around us, the levels of stress are extremely high for everyone. But I do make it a point, Adam, to unwind in the night or on weekends, with a good book. I'm a voracious reader. I love reading. So maybe a good book or something interesting to watch that stimulates your mind. I look for things like that. I do tend to spend some time exercising if possible. Maybe going for a run late in the night, if there are no restrictions, that is. It's important to stay physically on top of your game, and I try doing that as much as I can. That's how I kind of try and strike a balance.
As you said, it is difficult at the moment with so many restrictions, but obviously, it's taking that first step, isn't it, towards
Absolutely.
Doing things in a better way that's important. And once you take that first step, then the second will follow. Often it's getting through that initial barrier that's the most important thing.
True, so true.
And looking at how things have changed, how has technology changed for you and the way you use it? And perhaps, obviously, at the moment, bookings and so on aren't that many, but how can you use technology to improve, for example, online distribution?
Sure. I think over the past decade, Adam, the hospitality industry has experienced dramatic changes. Particularly in the hotel, in the area of hotel channel distribution. Big brands, online travel agencies, global distribution systems, meta search websites are all vying for customer attention. Hotel distribution channels are the cornerstone of a hotel's sales and revenue strategy, right?
Right.
To drive revenue, hotels need to attract as many customers as possible and must not only understand, in my opinion, the who, what, where and when of the customers, but most importantly, the why. The behavioral data that highlights the factors that guide our guest decisions is the most important. And that's where technology comes in, primarily. Guest channel preferences are also very, very crucial in developing an optimal channel mix, as guests now have an unprecedented number of options for shopping, for booking their hotel rooms, etc., etc. So it is very important for a brand and a hotel chain to be on top of this, to invest in the right technology to drive this business, which is going to be predominantly very, very important in the coming future. And I must add here, Adam, that I feel STAAH is one of the perfect tools, developed to drive this for hoteliers. We use that in our hotel chain. I've used it previously, and I think it is the perfect tool.
Well, thanks for that, Alan. It's always nice to get good feedback. I'd agree that technology has changed considerably over the last 10 years. I think one of the things that we're going to see, particularly in the next 2 years, is how technology engages with niche channels and with
Right.
with channels that offer a different experience for the customer.
Sure.
Of course, there's been a lot of concentration over the past 10, 15 years on the big OTAs, the big globals, but I think you're going to see a lot more local and domestic.
Around 20 years ago, Adam, when I was, working with the hotels, we had this one primitive system called Fidelio, and the global distribution network, the holodecks that was connected to it. See how that has changed, right? See how the advent of technology has made this so important and has added a very significant segment of business for all hoteliers, which wasn't very, very high and large before. It has become so very important for all of us to adapt the right technology.
But I think you're right, and of course, things have certainly developed since those early days. And I think the other thing which is interesting is that everybody has access now to that type of technology. The playing fields are level.
This is everything nowadays. You see, everything can be done on this.
Yeah, exactly. But even from a guest point of view, they have access to that technology, and from the hotelier and professional point of view, they have access to all of that kind of technology that was before just available in the chain hotels, for example. Yeah, so
Right.
All of that is really interesting because it gives access to guests to a huge choice of different experiences. And I think experience is another thing that within hospitality is the most important thing. Apart from having a great room with great service and so on, it's all about the experience that the guest gets and feels during that stay.
True, so true.
Well, listen, I know that you guys have a multi-award winning. Yeah, you've been World Luxury Hotel, World Luxury Spa. So how do you manage to maintain those high standards and to provide the best service?
Well, yeah, Adam, Niraamaya is considered to be one of the finest luxury wellness chains in the world, not just in the country. The very idea of building this brand was that because the Niraamaya Wellness Retreats basically epitomizes the best of wellness practices. We draw extensively from India's heritage of healing in Ayurveda, which is a 5,000-year-old science. With its roots in Vedic culture and Kerala's traditional massages at the Niraamaya spas that we offer, everyone from the doctors to the chefs to the yoga gurus to the meditation masters, everyone works in unison, to help guests deal with the various lifestyle issues that they may be struggling with. Whether it is diabetes, whether it is stress, whether it is obesity or any digestive ailments. The team works in unison to ensure that the guest goes away with a tangible takeaway from his holiday, and he goes back feeling refreshed, rejuvenated. And that is the reason you see so many, great feedbacks for our brand, for our hotels, for our team members. That is the cornerstone of our philosophy. That is the cornerstone of our brand values and ethics. We also have, Adam, we have a very highly efficient and dedicated staff in each of our retreats, who tend to go that extra mile and stop at nothing to ensure that a guest feels cared for, and we ensure that no challenges go unresolved. This attitude of the staff, helps us in maintaining our high standards consistently and providing the best services to our customers.
Great. Listen, that's the end of the complex questions. We're going to go into a rapid fire. Okay, Alan, thanks very much for all those answers. It's been really useful, I think, for everybody that's watching this to get your view on what's been going on and how things are going to pan out. So we're going to finish with just a very few rapid fire questions. Just one-word answers, and we'll see how we get on. Okay?
Okay, so, absolutely.
Still or sparkling?
Still.
Home cooking or restaurant cuisine?
Restaurant cuisine. I'm a hotelier. I mean, while I crave for home cooking, restaurant cooking and restaurant cuisine, obviously.
Okay. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Apple or Android?
I've been an Apple man for the past decade or so Apple.
Okay, this is the final one, really important one. Cricket or football?
Football. I am a big fan of football. I love watching football. Although I love cricket as well, but football it is. I really love the sport.
Okay. And which is your team?
In the English Premier League, it's Arsenal. In the national football, it's Germany and Italy.
Okay, we won't hold that against you.
Oh, okay. I would have said England, but Germany is my favorite, actually.
Okay.
I love how clinical they are.
Thanks a lot for your time today. It's been really interesting to get your views.
Thank you, Adam.
And look forward to connecting again in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me over, Adam. It was a pleasure.
Take care, Alan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.